Get that fucking trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another fucking friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. My iPhone free birthday dinner. I might be the most unique individual on planet Earth, on God's blue earth. Last night, my wife set up an incredible small birthday dinner for me in the city. I had two couples there, some of my favorite people, Tom Burns and Jeff Dean, who are World Builder Mastermind members, and their beautiful wives, Kristen, myself, the six of us. And we drove into the city and went to the Keg restaurant, and we enjoyed steaks and lobster and garlic potatoes and Caesar salads and everything that yours relentless loves. And what I love the most about this 4 to 5 hours we spent together, it was an hour drive in. It was an hour drive home. It was a beautiful 3-hour meal in this gorgeous restaurant in the heart of the city. Was the fact that there was zero tech. Doesn't seem like a big thing. Well, you want to see a badass table of adults. We're in this restaurant. The bar area is packed with people. The restaurant area is packed with people. And here's these 6 adults, my friends, celebrating my birthday coming up. And there's not a cell phone to be seen in 3 to 4 straight hours. You look around at all the other tables if you think this is common. Everybody on their phone, everybody yapping, everybody talking, everybody yammering on. Everybody distracted, everybody sedated, medicated. And here's this one table of us in the best table in the entire restaurant. And here's these 6 badass adults acting like adults. Not one cell phone. Every cell phone put away. I leave mine at home. I didn't even make the trip, of course. But that's called etiquette. That's called respect for the people that you're with. So what is everybody in my team selling? Like Nick Saban, the great Alabama coach, says, he says, everything we do, we're selling something, right? When we're late, we're selling that we don't care. When you're late for something, you're selling you can't be trusted. When you're late for something, you're selling that something else is more important. You know, maybe your phone is more important. Maybe your sleep is more important. Maybe alcohol is more important. But you're selling you can't be trusted. So it's the same with cell phone use. You have a nice birthday dinner as an example, and let's say everybody shows up and everybody's on their phone, or they have them turned over, as if that makes any difference. And what you're selling is, if you have a cell phone at the table on a date night, or you have a cell phone when you're out to lunch with your kids, or you have a cell phone when you're out to dinner with your parents or your queen, and you put the cell phone on the table and you check it and you try not to check it, and you do the tomato can zombie dance. What are you selling? You're selling that whatever is in that phone, porn, news, toxic politics, anti-social media, gambling, mental health addiction, that stuff is more important than the people you're sitting with. Whatever's in that phone, you pretend it's business, but it's not. 97% of iPhone communication now is social. So that leaves 3% for business. So you're not fooling anybody. I wasn't fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody. When it comes to business, you're doing jack shit on your phone after 5 p.m. You might be sending out texts, but it's just because you're looking for a dopamine hit because they're coming to an end at the end of the day. So you'll send out an email, you'll send out a text so that somebody replies to you and it makes you feel good. That's called dopamine addiction. So instead, We had 5 glorious hours together, including a drive into the city and a drive back. And we left at 5:15. I never saw a cell phone once. And we arrived back here at the lake at 11 p.m., just a few minutes before 11 p.m., and I went to bed. Not one cell phone. I didn't take my cell phone. And when I was saying my gratitude last night to my wife, Krista, before I closed my eyes, I talked about how I'm grateful for having present people in my life. I won't tolerate zombies and drones. I won't tolerate manufactured mental illness. I won't tolerate digital dementia in my world. And that was a wonderful, wonderful experience with quality people and quality friends where everybody is completely present. And I'm not naive enough to think that the people at that table are usually like that. It's just a reminder to you that the standards you set in your world are the standards that people will meet. And whatever you tolerate, you'll get more of that. So if I tolerate having people in my world, employees who are mentally ill, if I tolerate my child growing up on screens, if I tolerate cell phones at the dinner table, if I set the example, like the other 99% tomato cans, if I set the example where I'm lost in my phone, I'm literally scrolling my life away, then I have nobody to blame because you get more of what you tolerate. So if I'm addicted to my cell phone, if I'm suffering from digital dementia, then I have to expect that everybody in my world will be suffering from digital dementia. There'll be drones, there'll be zombies, they'll be unhappy, they'll be depressed, they'll be anxious, there'll be all these things because I am. So it was very refreshing last night to sit there and see and be with people who have etiquette, have manners, have mental toughness, have self-discipline, and who really just live to the standards that you set. So I don't ever have to say anything. I just have the type of people in my world that respect the environment they're in. And dinner is a time for fellowship. It's a time to talk. It's a time to listen. And if you don't tolerate, if you don't insist on standards in your own life, well, you're going to get what you tolerate. If you don't insist on standards in terms of your fitness and your health, well, you're going to be 40 pounds overweight and you're going to be tired and you're going to be old. If you don't insist on standards and rules in your life when it comes to technology, you're going to have a bunch of zombies in your world. You're going to attract and you're going to tolerate and you're going to get more digital dementia in your world. If you tolerate and accept, sloppy dress, not getting enough rest, poor nutrition, toxic people in your world, well, you're going to get a lot more of that. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So we are our standards and we get more of what we tolerate. What we tolerate, we get more of, and you are your standards. So it was refreshing to sit there last night and see what standards can do because yes, into 2023, you can still sit down at a dinner table and enjoy each other's company for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. And when I came home last night, I don't check my phone, I go to sleep, but I wake up this morning and when I check my phone today at 11 a.m., it'll be off until then. The only thing I use it for is these broken iPhone videos. The world will still be spinning. There was nothing more important than me being mentally present with those people that I was celebrating with. Nothing. There was no emergency. There was nothing that I needed to know. No hockey game, no tweet, no post, nothing. They can't wait 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. I take it to a whole new level. I don't even take my phone places, so I don't have to think about it. In an emergency, my wife, Krista, has her phone in her purse. Our friends have their phones with them. So, but I'm the ultimate. I'm the ultimate power move. I don't take my iPhone anywhere. I leave it at home for 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Sometimes I'll leave it at the office overnight. I forget about it sometimes for 24 hours. and I'll remember it when I have to shoot a video. But it's interesting. We get what we tolerate, our standards in our life. So if you have a whole bunch of tomato cans around you, what I call punch drunk people who are just buried and scrolling their lives away, it's because you tolerate it. Maybe some of those digital dementia people are your kids. Maybe they're your queen. But you know what? When the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. So if that's all around you, it's because that's your behavior. Your wife looks over, she makes a bid for connection, and you're buried in your iPhone. Your kid walks by you and makes a bid for connection, something simple, and you're buried in your iPhone. You're not there, you're somewhere else. And that's the real pandemic of 2023. It's not some illness, it's not some flu, it's not some disease, it's not some vaccine, it's not some crazy political idea. The real pandemic is mental presence. There's just none of it anymore. So when I see a dinner like that, an iPhone-free dinner with friends, I just think of how I've stacked the deck in my life, how I've given myself an unfair advantage over almost everybody. I did that by stopping drinking alcohol, by breaking up with alcohol. I stacked the deck. It's like I have an extra player on the field. That's the greatest analogy I can say. By not drinking alcohol, by improving my diet, by hiring a personal trainer, I've literally got an extra player on the field. And I feel the same way when it comes to iPhone addiction, because I'm mentally present, because I can sit for hours and study and read and think. I can sit in this blue chair right here, and I can sit there on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I can go through 2 inches of paper, newsletters, magazines, books, and I can come up literally with 75 to 100 ideas that I write down. No technology, just sitting there with highlighters, pens, recipe cards. And because I can do that, because I've trained my attention span is over 2 hours. Yours is 3 seconds. So do I have an extra player on the field? I think I do. My weekends don't make me weak anymore because I train all weekend, I read all weekend, I pray all weekend, I copyright all weekend. So I'm as strong on Monday as I am on Friday. I don't burn it to the ground anymore. I don't burn it to the ground with bad foods and booze. I don't burn it to the ground with cell phone addiction. But literally, when you get control of your iPhone, what you're saying is you really are a true badass. Because if you want to live a life on your terms, if that's the ultimate goal, you want to live life and do business on your own terms, how can you ever do that following the crowd? How could you ever expect to live life and do business on your own terms following the herd? The herd is wrong about everything. The 99% herd is wrong about everything, especially money and success. So when you do what they do, it's just a vote for losing. It's a vote for losing. So when I sit at a dinner table like that for 5 hours without any technology, I just sit there and I just smile at how you can build your own badass world of total autonomy. You can, if you have the brass balls, the mental balls, you can literally head the other direction from the mediocre majority. You can literally sit in a restaurant where everybody is consumed by technology and addiction, and you can literally sit there in 2023 and enjoy each other's company. The waitress is like, it's so abnormal, it's so different, it's so outlierish that even bartenders and waitresses are like, wow. You know, like what are you selling? You're selling that you're different. You're selling that you're special. You're selling that you're connected. You're selling that you're mentally tough. You're selling that you're a renegade, a maverick, a badass, all the things that I want to be. So that was my iPhone free birthday dinner. And I have to say, it's the greatest dinner I've had this year. We've eaten in the finest restaurants in America and Canada. Naples, we always go out once a week to these 5-star and of course technology free. But just having my good friends around me, my mastermind members around me, and seeing the standards that I've set as a man and seeing them happen in front of me and what I've been able to demand, but also what I expect, and see those expectations and see those standards come to life just reminds me of controlling the controllable. I can't control what other people do, but in my world, I can. I put lockers and took the cell phones away at McLean Insurance. Best thing I ever did. I could control the controllables. I couldn't control what they do after hours, so I controlled what I could. I took the phones away and we doubled our business. Barber shop, I took the phones away, we doubled our business. Hockey team, I took the phones away, we won a Barclay Cup. Control the controllable. Control the controllable. In my world, in your world, you will get what you tolerate, and you will get more of what you tolerate, and we are our standards. Show me your life, that's your standards. Show me your bank account, that's your standards. Show me the 5 people you spend the most time with, that's your standards. Show me what you eat, that's your standards. Show me what you drink, that's your standards. Show me what you read or don't read, that's your standards. Show me your cell phone usage per day, that's your standards. So do what I do, which is get in the habit of leaving it at home. Leave it for long periods of time. You go out on your date night, try leaving your phone at home. What are you, a fucking surgeon? Are you curing cancer? Are you president of the United States? Do you need the umbilical cord attached all the time? Or maybe can you just go and be present with your queen or your children or your grandchildren? We have a family reunion coming up this weekend, and I'll literally, my phone will disappear for 2.5 days. 2.5 days. I'll be out here in the sunshine, on the lake, taking the kids skiing and tubing and the adults boating, and I'll be mentally present for the 2.5 days. And that's what I demand, that's what I expect, that's what I tolerate, so that's what I get. You get in your life what you tolerate. If you're not happy with any area of your life, your marriage, your relationship with your children, your fitness, your health, your marketing, your bank account, your freedom, stop tolerating less. Stop tolerating less and set new standards. Set new standards, and people will follow. That's how you have an iPhone-free birthday. I gave myself the greatest gift. High standards. I gave myself the greatest birthday present a man could ever give himself. I was present with the people that I enjoy spending time with. I gave myself the gift of leadership. I gave myself the gift of high standards, not tolerating anything but the best. Is that the gift you're giving yourself? Are those the standards? The king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. The kingdom doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. So for my birthday, I'm opening up the gates into my secret society, my World Builders Mastermind. I'm going to have them open for 4 more days. If you would like to join my World Builders Mastermind right now, I have 2 spots available. badassworldbuilders.com. badassworldbuilders.com. It's not for chumps, it's for champions. It's not for pretenders or excuse makers. It's for badass kings. badassworldbuilders.com. You need to apply. It's expensive on purpose. $9,997 for the year. We meet every 2 weeks online. Total game changer for you. I'll teach you over the next 12 months how to live life and do business on your own terms. As expensive as it is, it's free. And the reason it's free is you'll 10x the 10 grand. Whatever you put into this program, you'll get out 10x if you don't even try, if you're no good at all. So it's not what it costs, it's just a total investment. badassworldbuilders.com. The gates are open for 4 more days, and then I'm going to slam them shut, and you'll be locked out again. I only open the gates every month for a handful of days. So if you want to jump on my mastermind, you can do it by going to badassworldbuilders.com and let me coach you this year on living life and doing business on your own terms. Time to be joined at the hip. Iron sharpens iron, men. Iron sharpens iron. When you get home tonight, do what we do. Hug your family, hug your wife, hug your children. You'll feel better. They'll feel better. If your kids aren't at home anymore, make sure they hear your voice every day. Not a text, not an email, not a message. They need to hear their dad's voice every day. Well, my kid's 26. He needs to hear your voice today. She needs to hear your voice today. We have a pandemic of under-fathered children in today's world. You need to do the opposite. You need to be present in their life. You need to keep them close. You need to be their lion. You need to be their king. Make sure they hear your voice every day if they're adults. Tell your wife something that you love and respect about her every day. Leave her notes. Leave her surprises. Date her. Take her out to dinner. Surprise her. Keep her guessing. Hug her. And make her feel incredible every day. Talk about all the things that you love about your wife and children. And when you come home tonight, make sure you hug them and tell them how much they mean to you and how much you love them. There is a day coming sooner than later when this is all going to be over. This is a speck in time for us. And there is a day coming, a final day where you'll speak to your queen. There's a final day you'll talk to your son. There's a final day you'll talk to your daughter. So let's make sure that there's zero regrets in this world, that every day we come home, we hug our family, we make them feel better, we make ourselves feel better, and we make this world a better place. 2 words that change my life, 2 words that'll change your life. Be relentless.